My name is ELIAB Musisi ELIAB. What I know about HIV right now is that it's a virus that attacks our white blood cells and our body becomes defenseless against all sorts of diseases. And what comes from that is a person gets thin until they die. Yes, I have related and I'm still in a relationship with someone that has HIV, and that person is my wife. She got HIV at the end of 1990s, and up to now I'm still married to her, even though she has HIV and I don't have. That is a miracle that I cannot explain. Not even scientists have been able to explain it today. In brief, we had a sister-in-law who was sick, and when we tried to treat her from home, she failed, and then we took her to the hospital, and from there, we were told that she was sick with HIV. We were sent back home because the disease could not be cured, so we tried to treat her from home, but she eventually died. After some time, in the early 2000s, an organization came to our village. It was called World Division. It came to test people for HIV, and they said that if they found someone to be HIV positive, they would give them medication and food. Because of the free food, my wife decided to go and test for HIV, but we did not really take it serious because we thought that to test for HIV it required some sophisticated machines, and we did not have electricity at home, so we didn't trust their methods. We thought that they could not have the sophisticated machines that are required to test the virus, so we were not going to believe the results. After some time, a report was brought, and it indicated that my wife was sick with HIV, but we did not believe it. We did not believe it. There is no way we could believe it. But I was scared because I knew if she was really sick, I was definitely sick as well, because we had been married for a very long time and we had known somehow how the virus is spread. So I knew definitely that by now I should also be having HIV. But I did not think of separating from her because I knew for sure that my wife could not have gotten HIV willingly. But then we kept quiet and thought about how could she have gotten the virus. Then we remembered a report that was made about my sister-in-law while at Nsambia Hospital. The report had indicated that my sister was sick with HIV, but no one knew how HIV was spread. What everybody knew or thought was it was witchcraft, but that wasn't the case. I had read in magazines and discovered that HIV was spread through sewers, or if someone that had HIV and had sex with someone that did not have HIV. That's how HIV was spread. So that's how I got to know how my wife got HIV, because she used to wash clothes for my sister-in-law and she had got bed sores, and my wife also had sores in her hands. So that's how I think she got HIV. My wife did not test again. She just went to World Division and started treatment. They gave her Septrin because that's what they were giving people by then. They were first given Septrin, then after some time they would be given ARVs. But along with the medication came the free food that she had gone for. I had a business I was running in the village, but after some time I discovered that it was not working very well, so I decided to go to the city. But when I reached the city, I didn't stop thinking about the fact that I might have HIV. So I decided to go and test, and good enough I fell sick and went to Mulago Hospital. And when I reached Mulago Hospital, the first thing that they could do was test for HIV, whether you wanted it or not. When they tested me, they said I was negative. I felt happy, but then I doubted because I could not believe, how can I be negative when my wife is positive and yet we've been together for a long time? I went and tested again from many hospitals. I went also to Maldimay just to confirm if I was really negative, because I could not believe that I could be negative when my wife is positive. How could it be? Altogether, I think I tested more than 20 times. I didn't get scared at all because I knew it had been a very long time since we discovered that we had HIV. But the mere fact that I did not have it means that there was protection from God. I said to myself, that if God had protected us, protected me from getting HIV, and protected my wife from getting consumed by HIV to point of death, He will continue to protect us and will continue to keep us. There was no change at all because first of all I loved my wife, and the mere fact that God was protecting us from this HIV virus, I knew that He was still going to continue protecting us, so there was no reason for me to fear or even change the way I look at her. What I can say is that people fear because they don't know much about HIV, and I think that the government and other NGOs can put more energy in sensitizing the public and telling them through films and seminars about how HIV spreads. They also need to teach people about the medication, because many people have said a lot of things about medication, but they don't know the real truth. You find someone who has HIV and is on medication and is very healthy, more than any other person, and this has caused them to think that people don't have HIV, yet they have HIV but they're on treatment. It is important for people to know about HIV because many people think that after they get HIV then their life is over, but their life is not over, because people need to understand that when they get HIV and they get on treatment, they will be healthier and healthier, even more than the normal people. People living with HIV should not be regarded as sick because he has a virus that brings HIV, but you also have a bacteria that brings maybe TB or any other disease. It is natural for all of us to have bacteria that bring infection. And now, if we can have bacteria that bring infection and him or her who has HIV, what's the difference? I have hope, of course, because many scientists have been carrying out experiments about this. So I have hope that it will be found. People that are HIV negative should try as much as possible to prevent themselves from getting the virus. And if they find themselves in situations where they have to get married, then they should first test for HIV. And then they should seek counsel from health workers on how to go without affecting each other. And let them be faithful to one another. It is important to be faithful